Okay, so we're going to go over passwords. I made a feature like this for Linux. I'm now doing this on the Mac for the GenCyber instructors. So one of the annoying differences between the Linux and Mac is that for Linux we just install the command line tool. For Mac we have to install gpg tools. So alright, and it doesn't appear that I'm connected to the internet, but that's not going to slow us down. The website is this one, GPG Tools. You just download the GPG suite. And then on Mac, the downloads will appear over here to the right. And the most recent download will be closest to the toolbar. So, okay. So now that you've done that, double click on that. You'll come to this install and uninstall. We're going to install. And just continue, install. Now put in the computer's password. And GPG keychain is now available in Finder. Okay, so if you open it up, I'm going to delete this key and show you how to import a key as well. So, edit, delete a key. And now you'll see exactly, this should be exactly what you see. So you're going to create a new key. I'm going to create one with you. I'm going to call this Evan Fake. Email is going to be fake, em1@jjy.q.edu. We're not going to create a passphrase. You can go back and do that if you want. This is complicated enough. Continue without a passphrase, yes. So now I've created this Evan Fake. All right, but I want to bring in my real key. So I'm going to import a key. And from my thumb drive, I'm going to bring in the evan.asc. And notice that on this one, on my real key, it only has 2 yellow ones. It doesn't know how much to trust that key. So I have to instruct it on how much to trust it. So I'm going to edit the key. Key here, the number is 790-661D7. That's how GPG knows what key we're talking about. I'm going to say, I want to edit this. And all I'm going to do is say trust. And then I'm going to say, I want to trust it ultimately, because I made it, so I know that it's good. Yes. And quit. But this didn't change. In fact, it won't change until I quit and restart. So quitting, and go back to Finder. Start, restart it, and now you'll see it has 4 green ones. Okay. And so now we are going to do password store. But unfortunately, if I look, I have password store already set up. But that's easy enough. I will rm-rf dot password store, and now it's all gone. So I'm going to do what you should do, pass init for initialize, and then I'm going to put the key, my key, which is 79066-1D7. Now password store has been initialized. So a couple of things that you can do with password store that we'll go through. First, we're going to insert a password. I'm going to my bad passwords already. So let's say I have a bunch of social accounts. I'm going to start out with Facebook, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my bad password in. So pass insert. This tells it to insert a new file, and I'm going to make it social/Facebook. My password for Facebook is going to be 1234. Type it again, 1234. You see. Now I have the password there. So if I want to see it, I can say social/Facebook. I see it. Well, that's not that interesting. But what is interesting is I can copy it without seeing it. And now it's in the clipboard. So I can go to my browser, go up here, and do Command V, and now I can insert it in the password thing. So anyone who's watching me log in has no idea what my password is. All right. But 1234 is a terrible password. So what I can do is I can also use the password generator to generate a much larger password. Now, you have to do this along with changing your passwords, but you can see that I can do pass generate social/Facebook, and this will do 15 characters. So do I want to overwrite it? Yes. And you can see that yellow and is now my password. Again, I can use the -C, clip it, social, Facebook, and we're at the password change. I could insert it with Command V, and there it is. Completely unguessable. You have to do an unbelievable brute force attack just to get that. If you have a website that won't allow you to put in special symbols, you can do pass, generate, social, and then add the no symbols. And that will just give us numbers and letters. You should make password roughly twice as long if you can't include symbols. And just so that you can see it, I'm going to put it up here again. And that's our new password. And so this follows the idea of process separation, so that all of our activities on the internet are covered by different credentials. And everything has the least amount of privilege it can in order to do what it's doing. So my Facebook password can't be used to attack my banking credentials. Okay, so that's all of Password Store. I guess I'll show you how to delete the fake key here, since it's not going to do anything except confuse me at some point. So I can go edit. Delete. And then, yes, I definitely want to delete it. And now I only have my real key in GPG keychain. All right. The Air Force also has a youth cybersecurity curriculum, and they talk a lot about passwords. Some of it's really good, so I want to mention it. They have a loaded acronym called Clouds Not Sun, and the bad passwords are Sun passwords. Simple, user ID, and name. Simple just means that your passwords are just numbers. An 8-character password of just numbers is probably the single most popular password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That can be cracked by looking at all the digits in that number. So that's 10 times 10 times 10, all the way up to 10 to the 8th. And you can do that in less than a second on a modern computer. If you add in lowercase letters, there are 26 of them, so it's 36 to the 8th. That is 2.8 trillion. You can crack that in about 11 minutes. Finally, if you add in uppercase, you get 62 to the 8th. That's about 210 trillion. You can crack that in about 15 hours. Adding in symbols gives you 7.2 quadrillion. That takes 3 weeks to crack, but you're way better than most people. Here, each character added, it makes a huge difference. 9 characters will take 5 years, and 10 will take 526 years. So you're not going to stop a hacker, just slow them down enough so that they can't do anything effective. The second part of that acronym, SUN, is your user ID. Your user ID is always public. And if you make it part of the password, you're making a huge mistake. Many government systems have your user ID as your password in a default state. So evan@dea.gov, my password would be evan@dea.gov. You don't want that. Same with your name. You don't want any personal info as your password. If I want to hack your account, if I really want your information, I'm going to know everything that you ever put out on social media. Your name, your birthday, your pet's name, your favorite baseball team, your mother's maiden name, your elementary school, your hometown, and your favorite sports team, for sure. And that's all going to be part of my word list. So you don't want that out there. Finally, the good passwords, we want passwords that are complex. So the more different kinds of different characters we can put in there, the bigger the number, and a long, so 15 characters. So C is complex, L is lengthy, only yours. You don't share your passwords. After this course, you're going to know more about computer security than anyone else you know. So you want somebody who's as educated and careful about passwords as you are. You don't share them. Unique. We want to have a unique password for every service that you have. So if one gets compromised, your other credentials are safe. And different. We want them all to be different. Finally, every service it has massive amounts of attacks. Your password will eventually get cracked. All we want is that you have those passwords are short enough term so that if it takes 90 days to crack your password, you're changing it every 90 days. And so that's the lesson on passwords.